legitimacy in the country. Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullin says a preliminary review of voter records from 4 states shows
Department of Homeland Security, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states.
those states, California, Nevada, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. He called on their secretaries of state to work with the federal government. There's no indication those people voted in federal elections. The U.S. carried out new strikes on targets in Iran, focusing on infrastructure to try to release Iran's hold on the Strait of Hormuz. CDC says it's linked at least part of the cyclosporiasis outbreak to shredded lettuce that was sold at Taco Bell restaurants in Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia, saying shredded lettuce sold at grocery stores or in other restaurants is not affected. This is ABC News. Flooding in Texas led officials in the Hill Country to use new warning systems that were installed after last year's floods that killed over 130 people, says ABC's Jim Ryan.
When the floodwaters came on July 4th, 2025, audible sirens were few and far between. A year later, dozens of warning devices have been funded and installed. In this first real-world test,
there was a triggering of the siren that did not go off immediately.
Governor Greg Abbott says the siren was flipped on a few minutes later and did go off.
For all practical purposes, the functionality of the sirens worked just fine.
Still, hundreds of people had to be rescued this week from high water. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The flooding blamed for at least 2 deaths. Both were adults. Actress Brenda Frickers died at 81. She was the first Irish actress to win an Academy Award for My Left Foot, probably best known for her role as the Pigeon Lady in Home Alone 2. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
Several wildfires burning across western Washington, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. It's about 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle. It's still a tough drive out there, though, about 40 minutes from Everett to Bellevue. Renton to Bellevue is about 30 minutes, but the F-curves are getting better. Over on I-90, there's a lot of weaving and merging right now. The Valley Freeway is still slow past 180th, but it's under 40 minutes. Better way to Seattle is about 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial 97.3 HD2.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Several new wildfires are burning across Washington after thunderstorms brought widespread lightning to our state. The new fires are in Franklin, Okanogan, and Kittitas counties right now. Over in Kittitas, the Three Queens fire is burning just northwest of Lake Comanches. According to the local fire chief there,
I've been up here a long time. I've not ever seen it quite as dry as it is. So those are things that make the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I hear fires this close to Snoqualmie Pass, putting out spot fires that far.
Hundreds of homes are in the path of the flames, with level 3 evacuations in effect in some areas. Security cameras captured the frightening moment stray bullets narrowly missed 2 Arlington families during a children's birthday party. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss has more.
The first shots caught their attention. The next round had everyone running for their lives, including Justin Coker's 5-year-old son.
Seeing my son run across the street is the hardest thing in the world, with gunshots hitting my house.
Bullets were fired through Coker's glass door, backyard, and even hitting his computer screen.
Bullets were within feet of me and my family and my neighbors, and, we don't feel safe anymore.
That's Coker shouting at the shooters, which the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office identified as neighbors living a few properties behind Coker.
The neighbors were legally target shooting, but Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says it's investigating and plans to recommend reckless endangerment charges. A crash in Marysville Thursday left 1 man dead and sent 5 other people, including 3 children, to the hospital.
Police say a Chevy Suburban struck a Ford F-250 truck head-on just before 1 p.m. near 128th and Smoky Point Boulevard. The 55-year-old Everett man driving the truck died. The 30-year-old woman riding with him was seriously hurt. The 32-year-old Arlington woman driving the Suburban and her 3 kids, including 2 1-year-olds and an 8-year-old, suffered minor injuries. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
No word yet on what caused the crash. King County corrections officers are warning inmate computer tablets are being broken apart and turned into weapons. Dennis Folk, the president of the King County Correction Guild, says a corrections officer was recently cut in the leg when an inmate being transferred to Western State Hospital tried to stab staff with one of these weapons.
I've been working in corrections for 28 years for King County, and I've never seen in my 28 years this many weapons coming into our facility, and about 99% of that's contributed to these tablets.
Folk wants those tablets taken away from inmates in restrictive housing and mental health wards, and says anyone who breaks one should not get a replacement for the rest of their booking. In a statement, the King County Department of Audit and Juvenile Detention tells us the safety of our corrections officers, employees, and the people in our custody is our highest priority. Now to your KIRO News Radio weather. We've got morning clouds and afternoon sunshine today. Weekend temperatures will be in the 70s and 80s, and next week will be much warmer. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today. Greg Tomlin is in. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Ursula. Always a pleasure and a privilege to be with you.
Oh, it is going to be such a fun show because coming up at 9:47, I'll admit, I kind of strong-armed Greg. You didn't know that what you were coming into today, but we're going to do something really special because you know how during the World Cup matches, the crowd would break into country roads after the matches. And I always thought, like, why country roads? And we're going to talk about maybe what we think is the significance of that particular song and why this was happening. But as a musician, you mentioned that you've noticed something that is happening more and more with some of the concerts that you hold.
Yes.
And so we'll talk about that. So I look forward to that. And then coming up at 9:30, y'all, we need help from you because we've got brand new research that you need to hear if you are a speeder. And if you are a leadfoot and have the need for speed, why do you do it? Text us. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And with that, let's get to our top stories brought to you by Pendergast Law. A 79-year-old Seattle man says he couldn't just drive past as masked ICE agents arrested a landscaper in the Maple Leaf neighborhood.
Stay back behind the car. Hey, you gotta get behind.
Behind what?
Behind the car.
You guys are assholes.
Stay back. I got it.
I'm behind the car.
Yeah, stay back. You can film all you want.
I'm behind the car.
I'm gonna pepper spray you.
I'm behind the car.
Now, John Sims turned around, he pulled out his phone and began recording, and when an agent holding pepper spray refused to show him a badge, this is how Sims reacted.
You hide. You're a coward. If you have to hide your face and you're not willing to show your badge, you're a coward.
I don't have to show my badge.
You're a coward. If you were proud of what you did, if you were honest, you would show your identification.
Now, the Seattle Times got this audio. Homeland Security says the man who was arrested is a Mexican national with assault and theft convictions, although the Times reports the agency gave no details about when or where those crimes occurred. But this arrest, Greg, comes as you've heard that ICE is ramping up operations here and nationwide. Washington immigration advocates confirmed 42 arrests in June, up nearly 45% from January. And the Trump administration is right now pushing ICE toward 2,000 arrests every day nationwide.
Yeah, and for the Pacific Northwest here, I think I read that there's been 2,000 arrests total since Trump began his second term. And I, for one, believe that the administration has been a bit overzealous in their rounding up of illegal immigrants. I think the quota to try to hit 2,000 a day nationwide is crazy and nonsensical. and represents a bit of an injustice because you're just trying to hit a number regardless of, each person's unique respective situation. And at the same time, Ursula, I would argue what this man did here, the 79-year-old, is not the way. You don't put yourself between law enforcement with guns and a foreign national who has convictions for theft and assault in order to make your point. And I think we have to be very careful in this discussion because we're hearing a lot of horrible stories come out nationwide of incidents that involve gunfire and ICE enforcement. And yes, I believe that investigations need to play out, and we need to see all the evidence before we make judgment calls on some of these. And unfortunately, in many instances, there's not body cam footage, so it just goes based on testimony and eyewitness accounts and so on and so forth. But I want to discourage people from involving themselves so personally in these incidents because, again, you don't know each case that's underway here. And in this one, it sounds perfectly reasonable to round up someone who has past convictions for theft and assault, and that's a Mexican national. That seems to me why ICE exists in the first place. Mm-hmm. Now, are there other instances where it's just like a landscaper that overstayed his visa? I would argue in that case that might be going a little too far here. But again, you don't know in the heat of the moment. And to encourage people to, you need to go out and resist ICE, you're only going to increase the chance for more potential violence.
I think your response is actually very reasonable. And I want to say a couple of things. One would be, in the case of this guy in Maple Leaf, he said he intervened because if not me, who else? Now, what has happened, I disagree with this whole idea of giving a quota, because when you have an unrealistic quota that only puts pressure on these agents who are already under a lot of scrutiny, for good reason. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about what happened in Minneapolis. Also, ICE agents shot and killed 2 immigrants during traffic stops recently in Texas and Maine, and it turned out they were not the intended targets. So that's what can happen when all of this gets ramped up. Why aren't they all wearing body cameras? Why are they, some of the aggressive approaches are only escalating it to the point where regular citizens like this guy feel like they have to intervene. And so I agree with you that once he said, and I heard, you can hear in the video, the ICE agent is saying, you can take video, just don't, get in the way. Right. And you don't hear that in everyone, but that was very clear in this video. And my thought is, some ICE agents are just trying to do their job. But because of how this has played out and what has happened, people are feeling like they can't trust him.
And Greg, when you say this is a man that's has drug and assault convictions, I don't trust a word that comes out of ICE's mouth. I mean, in Renee Good in Minneapolis, they said she weaponized her SUV and tried to run down an agent. A guy who was shot 5 times by ICE in Chicago, or lady, I said that she rammed them with her car. That did not happen at all. Another person in Minnesota who was shot 5 times through their door was charged with assaulting agents when he never stepped outside of his house. Mm-hmm. And this guy in Maine who was shot and killed, I said, hey, he had drugs on him. There were drugs in the car. And his attorney says, no, he had bags of salt. So, I don't buy until they're willing to show warrants, show their faces, and act in good faith. No, please document everything if you have the courage to do so.
That was the other part, though. Mm-hmm. That was the other part. Why are they masked? I will still say why.
I think they fear for their own personal safety. If they'll get doxxed, their personal information will come out. There are tools
and we're not in favor of doxing, by the way, but I think that just ramps it up.
I hate the look of it. Yeah,
police officers don't do that. They don't. They don't go in with masked. I think we would be outraged if SPD went around and did that. So why are they doing it in this case?
I agree. I think there was an incident in Texas a few months ago where there was a shooting at an ICE facility or things like that. And so I think ICE agents are on high alert and think that, if my identity gets out there, my family could be at risk, I could be at risk, and if people know who I am, I'm just trying to do my job. I'm just trying to see both sides of this. I don't think it's necessarily a binary, ICE all good, ICE all bad. Again, I'm very critical of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policies right now. And then I think, okay, what is the answer to that? And you might think this is me not being as aggressive as I should, but I think the best recourse you have is you got to vote the guy out in 2 years. And it's problematic to have to wait that long, sure, but I really don't like the rhetoric about how we have to rise up and we have to resist, because I think that's only making the situation on the ground even worse. I think people should advocate. I think they should make their voices heard. I think, members, commentators and things like that can get the message out there and make sure people get real motivated to vote and so on and so forth. But don't involve yourself in these situations as they're unfolding, because you're just asking for disaster.
But in some cases, if they're not getting involved in the as it is happening, that's where we're also the reason why there is a lot of pushback is because people are videotaping. People were there to witness, because otherwise, I mean, when Kristi Noem was giving her narrative as to what happened in Minneapolis, it was very different from what everyone saw with their own eyeballs. Right? So if people don't get involved, the risk is we don't trust they haven't given us a reason to trust them.
Renee Good's legacy is attempted murderer.
No.
If
and that's
citizens
false.
are
That's
not
a false
documented.
narrative. That's a false narrative. And this might be unpopular, but I was always taught growing up, no matter what, if you have any kind of encounter with law enforcement, even if you were unjustly pulled over, you have no idea what's going on, you sit down, you shut up, and you obey exactly what they're telling you to do, okay? And I'm not saying it's justified. Don't hear what I'm not saying here. And the Renee Good thing, that's going to have its day in court and so on and so forth. But what I'm saying
it almost wasn't going to have its day in court, right? I mean, there were basically things put in the way of making a complete investigation.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And that would be wrong if it didn't, if all the evidence
and the only reason it's going to be investigated, and again, I am not fully confident that all the evidence that could have been there is going to be there because of what happened after that situation.
Right,
and that's just it. Many of us have lost faith in agencies and departments, Homeland Security or ICE. We've lost faith because they've given a reason to lose faith.
Understandably. Yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay, let's move on, because we want to talk about a woman who is suing Southwest Airlines and a passenger over an alleged sexual assault on a flight from SeaTac to Sacramento. So she was 20 years old when it happened in August of 2024, and Mark Lindquist is her attorney.
We filed a lawsuit against both the offender who sexually assaulted our 20-year-old client and the airline. Southwest not only let this drunk board the plane, but kept serving him alcohol.
So according to the lawsuit, the woman was trapped in the middle seat between Jeff Lorenzo and one of his coworkers as Lorenzo allegedly repeatedly groped her without her consent. He later pleaded guilty to simple assault. Now she says Southwest should also be held responsible for allowing an intoxicated passenger to board, continuing to serve him alcohol, and failing to protect her. So my question would be, you be the judge with the limited facts that we have. How would you rule? And we brought up in our morning discussion, is it time to require a BAC test before drunk passengers are allowed to board a plane?
Negligence is the key term here. And during the investigation or the discovery phase of this case, the plaintiff's probably going to try to prove that airline employees, whether at the gate or during the flight itself, knew that this person was intoxicated, that it was a reasonable inference from his behavior, that he was drunk, and in spite of that, continued to serve him alcohol anyway. That's the strongest potential case that the plaintiff has. It'll be interesting to find out whether or not there's other substantiating evidence to that fact. Also, did this man pose a threat to this woman before this happened? If this was a spontaneous thing, it's a lot harder to hold the airline accountable for it. But if there was a big lead up to it and that the employees showed negligence here, I think this could be a warranted lawsuit without a doubt.
I mean, The main responsibility is with the passenger. He's already pleaded guilty to simple assault. Being drunk does not excuse you groping somebody. He is responsible for his actions. But if he was obviously drunk, I mean, you know that there are people who will get on the plane. You're like, okay, you smell it. You look like you're, three sheets to the wind. And then you definitely should not keep serving that person.
Right.
So then that's where Southwest Airlines may share the responsibility.
Okay, but the breathalyzer thing at the gate, I
okay, that was my idea.
I know. I think it's well-intentioned.
Why is that ridiculous? Doesn't the public have a right to fly without having to worry about being assaulted? But I'm not saying everyone on the plane, but it's very easy, right? Because now it's a judgment call. Like some stewardess or gate agent has to decide whether they want to make a big stink and kick someone off the flight and say you can't board. It's pretty obvious.
So,
like if you look impaired, okay, blow into this, and if you're below X, then great, get on the plane.
It would be a major cost that I don't think airlines would want to eat.
You mean it would disinhibit people from drinking at the airport or potentially drinking on flights?
That's one of the positive aspects of it. It would lead to way more delays, right? I mean, every second counts in the airport nowadays.
How stressed out are you when, you're in... Okay, only I understand this because a lot of times I'm in group C or D. I'm usually one of the last. And then everyone has to go in. Now you're slowing it down even more. I mean, air rage would be... big. That said, if someone is stumbling drunk, slurring, obviously intoxicated, I think it would be okay. In that rarer, it's not so rare, but rarer occasion. But to have everybody get one, no way.
What would be the universally accepted blood alcohol level to not allow someone on a plane? Would it be 0.08? And by the way,
double the legal.
People handle their alcohol very differently too.
This is true.
A lot of people are very straight-laced and can keep it together.
That's the argument why drunk driving should be legal is, well, hey, some people have a tolerance and they're not actually a problem.
You're in control of the plane, so to speak, when you're driving.
Yeah.
You're not a passenger, right?
Okay, well, ponder that one. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. How would you handle it? Let's squeeze in one more because there's a new Washington law that's giving striking workers a financial cushion while they fight for a new contract. Now, about 120 workers at the Embassy Suites in Pioneer Square have been on strike since June 18th. They're demanding higher wages, year-round health coverage, more staffing, and stronger workplace protections. And union leaders say 90% have now applied for unemployment benefits. They could get payments starting next week. Now, this law that took effect January 1st, eligible striking workers can collect up to 6 weeks of unemployment after a waiting period. So far this year, 142 striking workers have gotten nearly $500,000. Do you think this levels the playing field, or does it tilt too far toward the unions?
Yeah, unemployment insurance should not operate as a safety net for people who voluntarily stop working. We have a situation now where the state is helping fund one particular side of a private business contract negotiation. Oh, and by the way, the GOP legislators made this exact argument during the debate over this bill in the first place. This precedent is going to lead to more and more strikes across more businesses and that are more and more costly and last longer and longer. I think this is kind of a Pandora's box is open kind of situation. What do you think,
we're here.
Ursula?
We're here.
Yeah.
I mean, So when we first talked about it.
Is that cold-hearted? Is that wrong?
No, actually, you and I are on the same.
Okay.
I do want to have a little caveat here because I am sympathetic to workers fighting for better pay, health coverage, safer working conditions, of course. And I think a strike is a legitimate tool to try to get that. However, unemployment benefits are supposed to be for people who lose their jobs, not people who voluntarily stop, in my opinion. And then if workers need the financial support, which, it's hard to be on strike, why isn't that what your union dues and strike funds should be paying for? Okay, I know I hear the music, we're out, and I know that there are going to be people who absolutely disagree with us. Text us.
Let's hear it.
888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, coming up at 9:30, we're going to talk about speeding. If you are a speeder, tell us why. And then we're going to tell you about some new research. More of the Gee and Ursula Show with Greg Tomlin coming up.
Summer calls for road travel across our region. Have you noticed more vehicles on our highways and local roads? Obviously, traffic in the city is going to be crowded, especially with the Ship Canal Bridge construction. But there have been a ton more people heading north on I-5 and east on I-90 for weekends and holidays than again on Sundays coming home. More people on the roads means more accidents. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on the shoulder exchanging information. If you're one of the unlucky ones or know a friend or family member, reverse your fortune by having Harold Carr Law Offices deal with insurance. While you're resting, receiving physical therapy, and taking time off work, Harold Carr Law Offices will negotiate with insurance on your behalf while compiling necessary paperwork and getting you the best recovery possible. 7 locations across Western Washington and a track record of success for their clients. Carr is spelled with 2 R's. C-A-R-R. CarLaw.com. C-A-R-R. Car accident? Call Carr.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way. It's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Reutin from the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the Gee and Ursula YouTube channel.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Jake and Spike.
There's a rule.
Noon to 3.
If someone can do something about it, you tell them.
That's a good rule.
If they can't do something about it, you don't say anything.
Were they worried about the awkwardness?
That's on them.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size, high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. After President Trump's speech last night on election security, the head of the Department of Homeland Security weighed in today. Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen says DHS has identified over 250,000 potential non-citizens illegally registered to vote in 4 states. ABC's Pierre Thomas reports on pushback from state officials.
So far, state officials are pushing back hard, and they're making clear that there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. That is their words. That's their analysis. Number two, officials are talking about the fact that many of the items that were mentioned by President Trump and now being repeated by Secretary of the Homeland Security are information, involve information that's already been put out. The information about China, for example, gaining access to voter registration files.
A strange-looking raccoon is becoming an unlikely internet celebrity in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more on the animal dubbed Jimothy.
Jimothy looks kind of like an accordion pressed together due to a rare condition called short spine syndrome. That doesn't stop him from scurrying around the neighborhood, eating dog food left out, strutting across decks, and winning the hearts of neighbors lucky enough to see him.
Kind of looks a little bit like a cryptid, but very cute.
Online comments range from, he looks like the dog from the movie Despicable Me, to the creative, is that a Ron, shortening the name raccoon. Others commented, he's adorable, and I want to keep him. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A child exploitation investigation in Bremerton has taken a stunning turn. Bremerton police now say the man publicly accused of sending inappropriate messages to a minor was not the suspect at all. In fact, he was the victim. After seizing and analyzing his electronic devices, detectives determined someone in another state had stolen his identity and carried out the alleged crimes. Investigators say a potential suspect has now been identified and the case has been turned over to the FBI and out-of-state authorities. More than 3 million people visited downtown Seattle on the 6 World Cup matches played here. That's an average of more than 500,000 people per match day, 17% more on those same days in 2025. The biggest turnout was for the USA versus Australia match with 580,000 people in downtown Seattle. However, the real numbers are likely even higher. The Downtown Seattle Association says the tracking system was not used to count international visitors. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. It's still a tough drive out there, about 40 minutes from Everett to Bellevue. If you're coming from Everett to Seattle, it'll still take you at least 50 minutes right now. Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. On I-90, it's getting better. The Valley Freeway is a little sluggish past 180th, but it's under 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is remaining steady at 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. And for your forecast, sunshine's going to make a break for it later today. Temperatures will only be in the low 70s, but it's going to be a warmer weekend. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a fresh Friday, and Greg Tomlin is in for Gee today. And we talked about speeding, and I asked some of you who really love or have that need to speed, why do you do it? And I'm going to share some of the text messages that you have sent in. But right now, Sully is here, and he's going to help us with this conversation because if you love speeding on the road, is there anything that could convince you to slow down? And the reason we ask, there's obviously increased risk or injury, but what if you told you that you're not saving time by speeding? Researchers at the University of Minnesota analyzed 120 million vehicle trips across the country, and they found that the average speeder saves 54 seconds per day by speeding. Per day, 54 seconds. That's not even a minute. Sully, is this new?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take
You'll take the 54 seconds?
54 seconds.
Oh, get out.
Come on, baby. I'll take my 54 seconds.
If you're not first, you're last.
You're Leadfoot?
No, not necessarily. I do go fast when the opportunity presents itself.
Like Montana?
Yeah, Montana.
Okay,
I mean, I've set the
sure.
cruise control to 100.
You have not.
Yeah.
Have you really?
No.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, we're not advocating this.
Just to say that I could, because let's not forget it wasn't all that long ago in Montana there was no speed limit. And if you got pulled over by a cop, you handed them $5. You kept $5 in, or bunches of fives over your visor, and you would just hand them to the officer if they thought you were going egregiously fast. But the speed limit is 80, and I've been passed there by bunches of people. But yeah, I just did it for once. I'm working my way in the flats down past Deer Lodge over to Butte, where it's super flat. Set it at 100 just to say I could. But no, I I'd probably go 70 most of the time around here, maybe a little bit more. I try to keep up. In the mornings on I-5 southbound, you probably have to go 75 just to keep up with traffic. That's how fast it is, because the morning commute out of the north end starts about 4:30, really, with the lion's share of people moving through. It starts that early. And to keep up, you have to go about 75 unless you want to be over in the far right lane. So I just try to keep up with traffic. I don't
that's what you say to the officer when he pulls you.
Well, and again,
just trying to keep up with the flow of traffic.
That's true. Yeah, and I'm still getting passed by people, zigzagging all over the place.
You know what's wild to me?
I don't necessarily have a lead foot, but I do like to go fast when it's appropriate.
My daughter's 15 years old. She just got her learner's permit. And so I'm teaching her everything by the book because I know she has to do that in order to pass her final exam, right? But when you're driving with someone who is doing every rule by the book, it is like painstakingly arduous. We're going 35 and a 35, and cars are like whizzing by, honking at us, like upset, like full stops at stop signs and so on and so forth. And it is striking how much every driver almost universally pushes the rules, especially the speed limit.
And the thing that's interesting, because Ursula, you and Chef, you had handed me this the study that's been done recently by a couple of different universities. It's nothing super new other than their data points are slightly different. Is that, do you save time, but you also lose gas efficiency and mileage the more you speed. And we've been hearing that since the 55 Save Lives days back in the 70s and early 80s, is once you get to a certain speed, they're kind of diminishing return in terms of the economy that you get back. So if you're speeding, a little bit above, you lose X amount in gas, and with gas costing what it is, unless you're at a place where you can set the cruise control like I did in Montana. But the thing is you're saving 54 seconds. And that's why I think we talked about this yesterday with
54 seconds a day.
A day. And as we've talked about
adds up.
with Gee is the reason a lot of people speed and go do super crazy things on the road is that they leave the house late. They always leave late, and so you're always feeling like you're catching up. And I've made it a point to try to leave earlier and earlier to try to reduce my stress, keep my speed down, and you can save a little money.
You're telling me, because I'm sorry, I get what G is saying, but I'm not buying it's because people are running late. No, I think people just always have the need to be ahead of everybody else. You don't want to be behind someone. It's kind of that. Is it passive aggressive or it's just aggressive? It's like, I don't want anyone in front of me. I'm just going to get around you.
Well, that's because our drive is more important than anybody else's. We're all super selfish behind the wheel. And I think we're all guilty of that in one way, shape, or form. I think it's kind of comical that, the data shows that it's less than a minute that you save a day.
Yes, you're not saving time.
And I've thought about that.
But you're increasing your risk of
right. And I've thought about that
dying.
at times. It's like, oh my gosh, I just passed that guy who's left lane camping at 62, and I'm going 75, and then when we get stuck in a backup, and he's one car length behind me, and I kind of I talk to myself. I'm like, what? I mean, what did I really get here? Right?
In the immortal words of Eleanor Roosevelt, America is all about speed, hot, nasty, badass speed.
Did she really say that?
No, that's from Talladega Nights.
Okay, yeah,
Shake and bake.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. I know that. Pretty sure that's not
but
true.
54 seconds a day, that's a minute a day, 365 minutes a year, divided by 60 minutes. That's 6 hours a year. You are saving 60 hours
that's
over a 10-year
That's the
span.
average speeder. I would say I save much more than that. Because just from my house in Edmonds to I-5 in Linwood, right, if I get stuck behind 3 lights, I'm losing at least 10 minutes. And if I catch one of those lights, I'm probably saving 10 minutes.
Okay, so let me just ask all of you who it seems like I must be in the minority when it comes to not.
Feels good today.
Are you a speeder, Greg?
So I'm a distracted driver, generally speaking.
Yeah, that's worse.
The only fender benders I ever got into were between the ages of 16 and 17 is because I was like fiddling around on the radio or trying to. I had a 6 CD changer under my back seat of my car, and I would. I'm a moron teenager. I would try to change the CDs while I was driving.
Oh, no.
So nowadays, translate it to the phone. And so I have a tendency to go slower to try to mitigate some of the risk of my distracted driving. But it drives my wife freaking crazy. So for 20 years, she's been berating me about, go faster. Why aren't we going faster? So I tend to speed a little bit more now because the default kind of voice in my ear is go faster.
Okay, and my point would be, if all of us had the same attitude of, well, I'm going to speed, we're all speeding. Has State Patrol ever told you, like, when they start pulling people over?
Well,
like how many miles per hour? Because I got pulled over by going over the tippy tip of a gore point.
Well, that one, I've been meaning to talk to you about that one. You lived in Seattle your whole life. How often have you got, oh my gosh, I'm trying to go to I-90 and I'm getting off at James?
That's exactly what I did.
I know. You should know better. And you should also know that getting off at James, you can get right back on I-5.
And I should have known that. But you know what? I was, feeling the Friday, I'm finally free, and I wasn't thinking completely
to your
clearly.
Point that you were getting to,
yes.
It's going to be up to each individual officer or trooper. They can pull you over at 1 mile an hour over.
Right.
They can go letter of the law on you. Depends on what kind of day they're having and maybe how your interaction with them when they pull you over goes. That can be as capricious as it is, but they can do it for 1 over. Some people say, oh, it's only 9 over, so I can go 64 or 74 and they're not going to get me. No, they can pull you over and ticket you for whatever they want if you're in violation. That Gore Point one was a little rough. I get it, because you kind of went over the tip of that. But no, they can. The thing is they don't pull people over enough. That's the problem. We don't enforce enough, and I'm not getting on the State Patrol
talking about the
for that.
speeders. No,
I am. When you pull people, and State Patrol will tell you this, they could pull over people all morning long on I-5 in the morning.
And do it for the speeding.
But the problem is they can't, because when they pull somebody over, invariably because of how small the freeway is, they have to block a lane to do it, and they create more congestion when they pull people over. That's why you see motorcycle enforcement, because they're smaller, but still they can only pull people over in smaller amounts of space.
Now, the trooper had no problem finding space for me to pull over.
Well, but no. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. I like that. 365 minutes a year. Greg, I was looking at this all wrong.
That's not what that was. We want to discourage you from speeding. But Tony and Everett, I see you. He says, I just like going fast. It's fun. I do sometimes. But he's more upset about people who go too slow, it sounds like. Sully, thank you. Appreciate you.
We can all do better out there and be less selfish behind the wheel.
Yes,
I know.
Be safe. Okay, coming up, we've got a special treat for you as we talk about country roads and the significance of that during the World Cup. Stay with us.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear Jake and Spike. Weekdays noon to 3.
Mike Salk from the Brock and Salk Show joins us now. This is essentially $10 billion for a team. They're not going to squabble over a millionaire's tax. They don't really care about that.
Not.
I hate the millionaire's tax for other reasons. It's not because I thought it would stop.
It's a really interesting conversation. It has nothing to do with the Seahawks thing. Using it to get clicks on a story that has nothing to do with it.
That's a fair point.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah. Watch live or later on the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel.
In case you haven't heard, I picked up my brand new 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru, and I'm going to be driving it this summer, and I am beyond excited. It is my first hybrid, so this is completely new for me, but with gas prices still very painful at the pump, the timing could not be better. But this is more than just saving money at the pump. The Forester Touring has this big 11.5-inch touchscreen with navigation, a 360-degree surround view monitor. I never knew what I was missing until I had the experience of using that. And I love the driver focus technology. We were just talking about being safe. It gently reminds you when your attention might drift a little bit. Carter Subaru also reminded me why we keep buying our cars from them. They are so wonderful to work with, and they have earned our family's trust. Right now, Carter Subaru has the 2026 Subaru Forester starting at 1.9% financing. Visit Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership in Ballard, Shoreline, or at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-381-4183, 800-381-4183, or biglou.com.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road.
Okay, you're wondering, like, what on earth is going on with the Gee and Ursula Show? Greg Tomlin is co-hosting with me today, and I strong-armed him. I said, Greg,
Wasn't my idea.
I want you to play because you have one of the most beautiful male voices that I've heard in a long time, first of all. And I love that you play guitar. I only found out about this during Holiday Magic. But one of the cool things during the World Cup matches, you've seen the video, you've seen it on social media where the crowd would just break out into country roads.
Didn't matter what part of the country it was in, what stadium.
Yes.
All of a sudden you'd turn on the TV and there'd be 60,000 people singing wildly.
It was so cool, and it was such a great feeling to see the amount of pride, the amount of joy that was just so evident. And it's like, why country roads? Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, a lot, actually. And it's those songs that have the anthem-like choruses that aren't that complicated, that somehow evoke some type of emotional connection to home or community or people or experiences or a historical perspective. And Country Road hits all of those.
Yes.
Very simple, straightforward, easy to remember. The melody is not complicated. And it evokes emotion.
John Denver.
And it's John Denver, man.
I know. So one of the things I also have noticed when I travel, that is one of the songs, like if people are doing karaoke, I mean, it's just one of those like quintessential American song. But what I love is that it just reminded me that no matter how divisive this country can be, and it is at this moment, it was kind of one of those unifying songs during an event, or and it's still going on. Obviously, we've got the final coming up, but that was one of the things that I loved about the World Cup matches, is that it seemed like it was such a unifying experience for so many people. And I'm just not that into soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, me neither.
Yet it was this really unifying experience, and people from outside reminding of us of what a great country we live in.
Without question. And it's one of the reasons I still love to continue to play live music. And by the way, shameless plug here. Tonight, Side Hustle Local in Bothell. We're playing from 6 to 9. Come check us out between two Gregs. But what's become more fun in recent years is the aspect of audiences wanting to get involved with the performances more than I can ever remember before as a performer. And I'm wondering where that comes from. I think you touched on it there, large in part. And I come from, the radio world, the journalism world, the media world, where, divisiveness and controversy and hot button issues are front and center. Mm-hmm. And music is one of those last realms where it doesn't matter who's in the audience, left, right, center, religious, irreligious, black, white, heritage doesn't matter. Something is connecting us in that moment. And it's a very human experience. And there's no algorithm present.
Yes.
There's, when the rare occasion we see people put the phones away and all of a sudden they're singing together. So we're always looking for more and more songs where we get involvement from people, because there's that extra special element to it, especially for this day and age.
Well, I hear the music, and I ask if Nick, if you could turn down the music, because Greg, I want you to take us out.
Oh, no.
But I want it with the other song that. It's the one Beatles song that Chef likes.
I thought you wanted me to play NWA. No, we're doing Beatles.
Yes. Here comes the sun. comes the sun. It's all right. Okay, seriously.
I love your voice, Ursula. You need to sing more on the Gee Ursula Show.
What about the other song that when I said, oh my gosh, I mean, I honestly was ready to just...
California.
No, not that one.
At a party.
But you're good.
That one?
No, it was the other one. No, we got 30 seconds. Don't put away the guitar.
Greg keeps trying to escape.
I know, he's trying to escape. You know what? Yes.
I don't want to be that guy. I'm turning into that guy at the high school party that gets the guitar and the party ends.
People are loving it. Okay, you know what? We're gonna bring it back. I want a little bit more of that song, if that's okay.
I'm the guitar guy.
Is that me?
At the party. I'm the guitar guy and I think I'll
Okay, text us right now. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line if you want to hear a little bit more of Greg's music. And again, he's going to be playing. He's red right now. He's going to be playing at Bothell where?
Side Hustle Local tonight.
Okay,
6 to 9.
Your voice is truly beautiful, and I failed when I tried to learn how to play guitar. And
but you have
play it
perfect pitch,
really,
Ursula.
really well. That means nothing.
I
when
started
it comes to
tuning the
playing
guitar, and she's like, "That's an A.
Yeah.
That's a B." And I'm like, "What is this magical, mystical talent you have?"
Greg, you've softened my crusty soul now like 5 times today. So thank you. I mean,
that's the biggest win of the day, maybe of the year, Andrew. Thank you for saying.
Greg, you need not be so modest, but just love your music, and so we're going to bring it back. But coming up next, we're going to talk about another wild coyote encounter, this time up in Edmonds, and we'll have a lot more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-7844. 800-505-7844. 800-505-7844.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
Did you hear that restaurant in the CID? Conditions are so bad, it is not feasible for them to stay open during the weekdays and only during the weekends.
Crime, street life, drug use. If only there were an elected official.
Like a mayor?
Maybe a council of these elected officials. And maybe these concerns could be brought to them.
This should scare them. I mean, like, I know we're being like tongue-in-cheek.
It should.
Jake and Spike, weekdays noon to 3 on KIRO Newsradio.
How sweet it is!
50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues. Fire!
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. The bad air in the eastern U.S. has FIFA monitoring for any impact on Sunday's World Cup final in New Jersey. Canada now reporting 893 active fires with only 156 fire crews to fight them. Tsunami warning up for the Pacific coast off Mexico and Guatemala right now. A 7.3 quake just hit. A bridge in Uvalde, Texas has collapsed from historic flooding that brought 200 water rescues and claimed 2 lives in Texas. The Trump administration has sent letters to states where it says non-citizens are on voter rolls.
Department of Homeland Security, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states.
DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen says those states are California, Nevada, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. The Bipartisan Policy Center finds most of them are citizens who are misidentified by outdated information. This is ABC News. Today's numbers are not good on this parasitic intestinal illness. More than 5,000 just across Michigan now, including 102 in the hospital, an increase of 700 just since yesterday.
The FDA and the CDC saying the outbreak has been linked to shredded iceberg lettuce served at some Taco Bell locations in 5 states: Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. The FDA identifying a single supplier of the lettuce from Mexico used by the restaurants where sick people say they ate.
That's ABC's Sam Champion. In the UK today, Andy Burnham is officially declared leader of Britain's governing Labour Party, which clears the way for him to take office as Prime Minister. Target issuing a recall for thousands of children's sandals. Decorative pearls on the shoes have been found to present a choking hazard to young kids. No injuries or deaths reported. Target recommending customers don't use these sandals. Keep them away from kids. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
New fallout from President Trump's election speech. Washington's Secretary of State is responding. More on that, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. The drive from Everett to downtown Seattle on southbound I-5 is running about 46 minutes. That's a little slower than the typical 37-minute trip. I-90 is seeing normal flow across Lake Washington, and if you're traveling this weekend, plan ahead for overnight closures on eastbound I-90 and ramps near Montlake. Give yourself extra time if you're heading through Seattle right now. Federal Way to Seattle is going to take you at least 40 minutes. This track report is brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Sales event is going on now through August 2nd. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Washington's Secretary of State is pushing back after President Trump's nationally televised address on election security. In a statement released today, the office says repeated claims of widespread election fraud have been disproven and argues recent federal cuts have weakened cybersecurity support for state elections. The Secretary of State also says Washington will continue protecting voters' private information and maintaining what it calls secure, transparent elections through ballot tracking, signature verification, and post-election audits. Several new wildfires are burning right now across Washington after yesterday's thunderstorms brought widespread lightning to the state. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports hundreds of homes are in the path of fire with level 3 evacuations in effect.
In the town of Nispelum in eastern Washington, residents are being ordered to leave now. In nearby Omak, lightning caused the Kaiser Canyon fire stretching 2,100 acres, roughly the size of 650 Costco stores. And just north of Snoqualmie Pass, the Three Queens fire. Reaction from the local fire chief there.
Those are things that make the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I hear fires this close to Snoqualmie Pass.
There were 8,000 lightning strikes across the state Thursday. The Department of Natural Resources issuing a burn ban Friday morning. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Department of Natural Resources has implemented a burn ban on land they operate starting today. A woman accused of setting a fire in southwest Spokane County has been arrested. Now investigators are looking into whether she's tied to a string of suspicious fires at the same location. Deputies say Georgia Williams changed her story during questioning before admitting she started the trailer fire, saying she was seeking excitement. A man detained with her was released without charges after deputies determined there wasn't enough evidence against him. Investigators are reviewing evidence and say more arrests or charges are possible. Seattle's Wallingford neighborhood is seeing a surge in break-ins. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
According to SPD's crime dashboard, this time last year, the neighborhood had 56 reported burglaries. This year, 96. And Ostro and other small business owners have been pleading with the city for help.
But in terms of any additional surveillance, any action, any policy change, there's been nothing.
So we called District 4 Council member Maritza Rivera.
Because we just don't have enough funding to be able to manage for the constant break-ins to all of these businesses.
If nothing is done to address this problem.
Do you think if you keep on getting hit like this, you could stay open?
We're at the end of our lifelines.
Now to your KIRO News Radio forecast after yesterday's thunderstorms.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is 10:06. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out on this Flex Friday and Fresh Friday, so I'm sorry that we didn't do the Flex Friday part, but I think y'all enjoyed Greg's music. So much so that we are going to bring it back. We are going to find moments of joy. Our show is all about finding those moments of joy. Do you know our text line? Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. It is overwhelmingly filled with people saying, more Greg, more music, love this change of pace. I'm going to tell you all right now, Greg, you are so humble and you are so worried that you're going to become that guy.
Do you know how uncomfortable you're making him right now?
I thought you were leading 10 with it. Well, let's do more music if it's a duet.
We got to rope somebody else in, too.
You know the book Bowling Alone?
We're roping someone else in, and I think he knows now, but Nick.
Yes.
Nick, our wonderful Nick, is an amazing singer as well.
Okay, if this can become a KIRO community newsroom thing, I'm all about it. Let's go.
Okay,
yes.
So we promise you we'll have more, but let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
So there's another frightening coyote encounter to tell you about. This time it was in Edmonds. Police were called to the 8400 block of 200th Street Southwest around 9 Sunday night after someone reported hearing a person screaming. Officers learned that a coyote had jumped over a homeowner's fence, grabbed their small dog, and then dragged it into nearby woods. Police searched for the animal but couldn't find it. Edmonds Animal Control says, yep, coyote activity has been increasing in the city. Same in Everett, where KOMO 4 News spoke with this guy who watched a coyote carry off his cat 2 years ago.
There'll be some nights where I hear 30 of them out there in the woods down there. I can tell. There's just no fear in them whatsoever. They are borderline domesticated.
Eric Little's main concern, he says, is his 2-year-old daughter and the rest of the kids in the neighborhood.
There's 10 children split between 2 houses over there. There's 3 little girls that live up there. There's a couple little boys that live right there.
So how aggressive does the coyote need to get before wildlife officials step in and remove it?
This is giving me some Pepe PTSD. Let me explain.
Sorry,
Yes.
what?
Okay?
Yes.
My late grandmother, Lois, she lived in Texas, and she had a toy poodle named Pepe. Okay?
Oh.
When her husband died, my grandpa, she moved up here to the Northwest and brought Pepe with her. But she moved into a condo, and the condo wouldn't let her have a pet. So we took in Pepe. I was in, I think, junior high or high school at the time. But we had a coyote problem in our backyard. Big-time coyote problem. And there was a big party at our house. And that night we couldn't find Pepe. Where's Pepe? Where did Pepe go? A few days later, we're looking for Pepe, and we find the remains of Pepe. And it was very clear that a coyote or a pack of coyotes had gotten Pepe. Now, how we handled this with my grandma is we didn't tell her. So for all she knew,
That would be just
because
so devastating.
It would have been devastating for her, and her husband had just passed not so long before. And so for all she knew, Pepe had been found by some Northwest farmers and was living out the rest of his days grazing with cows and horses and all that kind of stuff. And we never told her. By the way, was that the right move, not to tell Grandma what really happened to Pepe? I've always thought about that in retrospect.
I think you had the right intent. Like, what good would it have been known that, Pepe has been destroyed and ripped apart by a pack of coyotes?
Exactly. There's no silver lining.
There's no
to
bringing
that.
back
She
the poodle.
didn't need to know, right?
I think that's one of those
The coyote
where-
population seems anecdotally like it's out of control, and my impulse is to murder, death, kill. I mean, that's like the one thing. Because they can be dangerous to humans. I mean, this guy's exactly right. 2- and 3-year-olds out playing, and they have become extremely aggressive in these parts.
So
I know
one
from
of
firsthand
the
experience.
pushbacks, and I will share the encounter that I've had for those who haven't heard me tell the story a couple of times. But the one pushback would be, hey, you built in coyote land, so you're in their you know what I mean?
Coyote land.
That's the one
Do we
pushback
need to do
that I
land
hear.
acknowledgements for coyotes
No.
here?
No, but there are people who say, hey, we keep building out into areas
That's
where,
true, too.
Right? So, like,
I saw a black
whose
bear on
problem
Coal
is it?
Creek the other day. A black bear just running around the
Yeah,
roads, and I'm like, well, it's really us on his territory when it comes down to it.
But this guy in this story from Como 4 News was told by his landlord that he cannot build a fence to protect his child from the ravine that abuts his property where the coyotes live. But he was told that he could hire a private trapper to the
Never
tune
heard
of
of that.
That
to the
sounds
tune of
cheap.
thousands of
Yeah,
dollars.
I was going to say, sheesh.
Yeah. My encounter was at Sandpoint Country Club as I was walking Scooter. Like, you're walking with a pet, and I didn't
How big
realize
is
it
Scooter?
because he's 45 pounds.
That's a
So
pretty-
not, yeah. So, I thought it was a dog that was following us. And I was kind of bebopping around with Scooter, walking, because I say bebopping because I had my headphones in. And then I looked down and it was like, oh my God, that is not a dog.
This is a predator.
And this is a predator. And this is a predator walking like step by step right next
Oh,
to
yeah,
us.
they kind of prance. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm
Like
just
he's
chilling.
sizing
No.
up Scooter.
You're looking for
at my
someone's
meal.
throat to tear
looking
apart.
At, exactly.
Yes.
He's looking at it like a meal. So what do? I ran.
And
It's
I
exactly.
ran. Yes.
Ran so far away. Yes. Sorry. Okay.
We couldn't help it. We couldn't help
Out of
it.
control.
No, we are
I
out
love
of
it.
control today.
It's Flock of Seagulls Friday.
No, but I ran. I did everything. And then I said, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be running because the coyote was running after us.
Then its predator instincts really
Yes,
kick in.
but it was like a lazy coyote because it could have outrun us, but it was kind of jogging toward us, and I am screaming. I am yelling, thinking some neighbor in a neighborhood that I don't live in is going to hear this woman with her dog yelling and screaming, because the coyote's coming after us.
Yeah.
No one was opening their doors. It was a broad
No.
daylight.
If anything, they're pulling out their cameras and they're starting to film because they want to post it.
So then I finally stop in the middle of the street. I turn around and I did somehow I thought, I know I'm supposed to make myself big and supposed to make noises and scare
Right.
the coyote.
Kick.
So I did exactly that. I'm yelling and screaming.
Hey!
Coyote was not moved.
No fear.
It was just like,
You got to start throwing stuff.
This aggression
Well, I had
shall
nothing
not
to throw
stand.
other
You
than
could have thrown
Scooter.
Scooter.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
they're emboldened because nobody fights back, Ursula.
Yeah,
It's time to
thankfully, though.
reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Thankfully,
Okay.
The coyote eventually got bored and
Greg,
that was okay.
I know you have lived experience with coyotes. That informs your worldview on this.
Is this the PETA perspective?
No, but I don't even need to look at the text line to know that there are people who will say, and this is basically official government policy now, is that like we don't do animal culls. Like we used to shoot the geese at Green Lake early 2000s because of the poop problem, and people didn't like stepping in it.
The duty.
And unfortunately, some people actually have it incorrect in that, we've moved into the coyote territory. Coyotes are one of the few animal species where their populations rise alongside human populations.
Here we go.
It's coyotes,
Preach.
rats, and crows. Those are three.
And all three of those are nuisance species in my mind.
Yeah, according to you. I mean, what's the difference between a flower and a weed? You don't like the way one looks. I mean, the simple fact is we provide them with habitat that's rife with food. We do. Mm-hmm. If you see missing cat posters, it is because it's true.
Yep.
Like, unfortunately, the reality is that outdoor cats are not a good idea for their own safety. Leaving your dog outside in the yard in the evening is not a good idea. You're going to be fine generally during the day, but like you can't leave your animal. And I'm not trying to victim blame here.
Now you can't leave your animals out on your own property?
Yeah.
Not in this environment.
No. I mean, is that crazy to you?
It depends on how big.
I know we have different relationships with animals these days, but for the same reason why you wouldn't let them wander around in the street.
All right, so how do we humanely murder all the coyotes? You know that
I think that's a contradiction in terms.
Yeah, it is. Humanely murder. Greg, what the heck?
You know, in No Country for Old Men, Javier Bardem has that little air thing.
Like they do with the cattle.
Yeah, like the cattle. So you round them all up, and you just make it instant. Like no suffering, no torture.
That's
they don't
not
going to
happen
through that, no matter how much I want them.
But I want to hear from people who agree with Greg.
There are a few who are saying, I know some good old boys who will take care of your Yodi problem. That was one.
Yodi.
Right.
Yeah. Peggy and Olympia,
what's more dangerous, the coyotes or a bunch of like good old boys with guns rendering on Yodi shoots?
Yeah, I'm not going to encourage that either. I wish that there would be something that would be reasonable.
Just domesticate them.
So, well, how about...
Probably not possible.
No, but how about wildlife officials do come in if you have particularly aggressive coyotes, or maybe that's a
put them in a big semi truck, send them out to Montana, and see if they make their way back here. I don't think they will.
Okay, Peggy and Olympia might have she says, learn to live with your neighbors, including the wild ones. Coyotes are looking for an easy meal. Keep your garbage and your cats safe. The man should be able to put up a fence if his landlord won't allow it. He should move.
Okay, so what
now, Peggy, that's reasonable.
My parents got one of those deterrents that's like a buzzer that goes on constantly.
Can you hear it?
Neep. And then for like a month it worked with the coyotes, and then they realized there's no threat whatsoever here. My neighbor even has one of these things for like the moles in our yard. And it's great because the lawns look great, but all of a sudden, you wake up 6 months later, and all I'm hearing in my head constantly is "nee."
Okay, no,
nee.
Really,
it's driving me nuts. Okay, but then
I would rather take
Andrew,
the coyotes and.
Do I want to be that neighbor to text the person who lives next to me and be like, "Dude, you got it,
Yes,
the buzzing noise."
Yes,
I do.
Yeah,
I feel then that puts bad juju in the atmosphere.
Me? No, you're gonna suffer.
Yeah, please no. We want to hear your singing.
I think there's only one solution to the coyote problem.
So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they're snatching everybody.
Look, they have bitten some kids. Like,
see, that's
over the last 20 years here locally.
Yep.
Wildlife officials need to come in and
keep your eye out.
Buy coyote.
But this idea that we should live in a sanitized world where there's no threat from animals whatsoever, it's unrealistic.
It is
and
unrealistic.
To accomplish it would be cruel.
I agree.
Put a period at the end of that sentence.
Yes, I agree. Okay, the World Cup fans are gone. Business is back to normal. And now Seattle has to ask what worked and what didn't. And I want to ask that question of you. I spoke about this during our morning meeting today, but I was one of those that did not have any World Cup match tickets, but I still went down when they were playing in Seattle. Team USA was playing in Seattle and had the best time.
Did you go to the waterfront, or where did you go?
I looked at the waterfront. We went to Pike Place Market, but we watched. I didn't stay to watch. I just wanted to get the pre-match festivities. So we went to Westlake Center, where they actually had set up a watch party, and they had ping pong tables out there. They might have the ping pong tables regularly. I don't know, but I did see them there. And they also, I went to Pacific Place, which is a place, that's what it's called, right? Pacific Place?
Did they have like a giant movie
theater they had a
screen
giant
in there?
screen. And that place has been a ghost town. It used to be, remember when Gordon Biersch and, it was the hip place to go, the theaters, there were all sorts of stores.
I used to see film screenings there, and it was always hustle and bustle.
Yes, it was hustle and bustle, and it has been a ghost town. But they came up with something so great when during the World Cup, and they should do that all the time. So I'd love to hear some of your ideas as to what would it take. We talked about increased police presence for sure.
Yeah, homeless sweeps, dare I say. My proposal is that we have one big international event every summer, because the city, for some reason or other, seems to get whipped into shape. And then it goes back to, business as usual, for better or worse around here. But then you clean it up again once. You just need an excuse for some kind of massive community event. Every summer, the city showed beautifully on TV, and the anecdotes seem to equate to data. Businesses did great where there were mass groups of people. Crime is down tremendously.
Yeah,
here this
crime
month.
was down. Yep.
And it just shows that if we have the willpower to do this, we can. I hate that it takes a once in a lifetime event to make these kind of conditions possible.
Yes.
But
well, the thing that I hear over and over again, because I talked about this with Seattle's Morning News, and the thing I hear over and over again is make it safe, make it feel safe. And then the other thing, which I did not bring up this morning, but I got to just say, parking's got to be easier.
Ooh, that's controversial.
Well, and I think we need to have more
not during the World Cup. It was impossible.
It was impossible.
I heard light rail did fairly well. I'm a massive critic of light rail, but people were singing its praises that I talked to that used it during the World Cup.
I even took a Metro bus. I don't take bus very often, but I took a Metro bus from downtown to Pioneer Square. It was great.
There was
clean.
no atmosphere of fentanyl in the air.
Greg, can I try and rebut you on this point that, Seattle cleaned up for the World Cup. How come we can't do it the rest of the year? No, Seattle did not clean up. Unlike the All-Star game, we were not hearing about massive sweeps happening. Yes, there was police presence downtown.
A lot of
police. But there was no push ahead of time to get people out of those areas. What happened is just the natural consequence of having 1 million people in a downtown location. And when you have that type of vibrant activity, naturally people who are on the fringes of society move to the fringes again. Mm-hmm. Right? When you reclaim public space.
That's it.
That type of presence generally evaporates, or it moves elsewhere.
Yeah. But it's that element that pushed people out.
It wasn't a proactive city effort to clean up that made it possible.
There was a proactive.
Maybe not to the degree that a lot of people think. But
they were not called sweeps, but no. I mean, 12th and Jackson was absolutely cleaned up, and it's back. 3rd and
almost
Pine
instantly,
was cleaned up. McDonald's has had to.
I remember when Bruce was mayor, they were documenting the RVs that were moved. I don't remember hearing anything about that.
Because that goes against what Katie Wilson campaigned on. That's not necessarily what she campaigned on, but it happened. It was, again,
okay.
I saw with my own eyes that
it returned. Yeah,
it has not only returned, but during those match days, it wasn't there as much. But to your point, Chef, when you have more than 3 million people coming in during 6 match days, that's an increased amount of foot traffic. And that is because it is much more visible when you don't have people filling in downtown. So I would love to
keep
hear
the good mojo going for
Yes.
Seafair, which is happening just
Yes.
in a few weeks here.
And I think that's time to reimagine what it is that you can do to bring in other things. I think that there's a concert series. I know at Westlake Park, the Downtown Seattle Association is going to have a concert series. Again, make it easier to park, make sure people feel safe. And
It's not rocket science.
no, it's not. And, encourage people to come downtown if they haven't seen it for a long time. But anyway, I would love to hear your ideas. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, still ahead, we are going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about? Coming up at 10:30. Oh my gosh, parenting. There is a controversial policy at one particular restaurant when it comes to misbehaving kids. Katrina will join us for that next.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
If 20 people were asked to choose toppings for a pizza, and the majority were not asked to pay for any of the toppings, they would probably choose, the majority would, the most delicious and therefore the most expensive. Government should list the price of the toppings and everybody should pay something. We are ruled by the ignorant, elected by the ignorant, and that is the case.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
John Curley here. When the AC starts acting up, don't assume you need a whole new system. Home Comfort Alliance, their approach is simple. Repair first, replace only if needed. Their techs diagnose the real problem because a simple fix can often get the cooling back up again and not cost you a full replacement. Need something new? Ask about a heat pump for year-round comfort. That's what we did at the barn. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. homecomfortalliance.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Wildfire smoke is impacting air quality across a large part of the U.S. Meanwhile, some GOP lawmakers have called for sanctions against Canada over its handling of the wildfires. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has this to say.
If you have additional water bombers you aren't using, if you have any wildfire firefighters that you can spare, we'd be forever grateful.
He says Republican officials should instead talk to their governors and see how they can support Canada. A strange-looking raccoon is becoming an unlikely internet celebrity in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood. The animal, dubbed Jimothy, most likely suffers from a rare condition called short spine syndrome. That doesn't stop him from scurrying around the neighborhood, eating dog food left out, strutting across decks, and winning the hearts of neighbors lucky enough to see him.
Kind of looks a little bit like a cryptid, but very cute.
The Department of Fish and Wildlife says Jimothy is moving around just fine and finding his own food. They say admire him from a distance, but leave him alone. Security cameras capture the frightening moment stray bullets narrowly missed 2 Arlington families during a children's birthday party. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss has more.
The first shots caught their attention. The next round had everyone running for their lives, including Justin Coker's 5-year-old son.
Seeing my son run across the street is the hardest thing in the world with gunshots hitting my house.
Bullets were fired through Coker's glass door, backyard, and even hitting his computer screen.
You know, bullets were within feet of me and my family and my neighbors, and, you know, we don't feel safe anymore.
That's Coker shouting at the shooters, which the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office identified as neighbors living a few properties behind Coker.
And those neighbors were legally target shooting, but Snohomish County Sheriff's officials say they're investigating and plan to recommend reckless endangerment charges. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. The drive from Everett to downtown Seattle on southbound I-5, it's still running about 45 minutes right now, a little slower than usual. I-90, it's pretty good across Lake Washington. And if you're traveling this weekend, plan ahead for overnight closures on eastbound I-90 and ramps near Mount Lake. Give yourself plenty of extra time if you're heading through Seattle. Your traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. For your forecast, morning clouds and afternoon sunshine today. Weekend temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Next week will be even warmer. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today. Greg Tomlin is in. And I have the biggest smile on my face because we have a treat for you. Coming up at 11:47, you heard a little bit of Greg's music and his voice. Well, we have now rounded up pretty much everyone who has any sort of musical talent in the building, and we are going to do something coming up at 11:47. So keep texting. We're going to do it a little bit different at the end of the show because we're going to have like a mini concert, an impromptu concert coming up.
It's Friday after all. Your Friday.
It will make your Friday. Yes, I know. We're all excited about it. But right now we want to talk about parenting because we love kids on the show. But sometimes, yeah, they can be a little exasperating, and especially when the kids are not your own and they're unruly. So Katrina is staying in studio to talk about how one San Francisco restaurant has touched a nerve with what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. That is an understatement, I think. Honestly, it's a new policy. It's something they started earlier this year. Essentially, splattered across their menu is, please control your kids. And if your kids are playing with utensils, if they are running around, you can get fined for that. So, for example, a kid smashed and broke into several pieces a credit card machine, and so that family was fined $300. Another kid spilled a teacup and it shattered. They were fined $5. So the owner says it's not about the money. It is about the principle of controlling your children and knowing that it's a restaurant. So listen to what he told the CBS affiliate.
It's about the principle. I have $5. It's not about that $5 broken teacup. It's about the fact that you came into here not respecting the rules. You let your child play around. They cause some sort of damage. You should be directly responsible. A lot of people very quietly tell me that they support this policy because they don't want to be seen as nosy or, like disruptive to other parents.
So this is causing a debate online. I know, Ursula, you've got grown kids, but
Yes.
I mean, back in the day, I mean, and even now, have you experienced, kids just misbehaving in the restaurant?
Yes. And on occasion, it would be my child who was misbehaving in the restaurant when, they're 2 or 3 and can't control their emotions very well.
Kids will be kids.
Yeah, kids will be kids, and we would take them out. The one thing that I think is very annoying is when parents ignore what their kids are doing.
So you hit the nail on the head there, Ursula. This story is not about children. It's about bad parenting.
Yes.
It's a clarion call. Get your kid in line. It drives me nuts. And in so many respects, I say this over and over and over. I'm a broken record. But our generation of parents who have young kids have dropped the ball in so many ways. So one of my sons is on a baseball team. And I remember last summer, the game ends and all the parents say, hey, let's go out to eat afterwards. And I'm thinking, this is going to be a disaster because I know exactly what's going to happen. And that is the kids are going to be unruly. They're going to be disrespectful. They're going to be loud. There's a high potential for glasses to shatter and forks to be clang together. It's just the nature of children. But worse than that, it's parents that have no control whatsoever. And I know I sound like that guy right now. So sure enough, we get to the restaurant. And all the kids are in their uniforms, right? And the name of our city is on their uniforms because it's like an all-star team. And all the kids have sat down, and we just got there, and I go, now's my opportunity. I'm just going to do it. No one's calling for me to do it. I go up to all the kids, and I say, hey, remember, we're at a quiet restaurant here. There's lots of people here. I said, you are representing your city. You are representing each other as individuals, as a team. You're representing your parents. Be respectful, be honorable to this establishment where we're buying food, and, keep the voices at a dull roar, and all the kids are looking at me, yeah, okay. And so I think, okay, I've done my job. Not within 5 minutes, the screams start coming out, the yelling, the jumping on top of chairs, and I'm looking at all the parents in the
they're
room,
doing nothing.
and
They're
there's
having
like
a chit chat.
There's about 12 couples with their kids there, and I'm just saying, is anybody going to help back me up on this? Anybody at all?
Oh.
And since then, that has happened 3 or 4 times, and it drives me nuts, guys. It drives me nuts. I'm thinking, where are the parents?
Okay, I'm curious what your thought is on this restaurant. Do you think they've gone too far, Katrina?
No, I 100% stand by this policy.
It's proportionate.
Honestly, for me growing up and even now as a mother raising kids, my husband and I are very clear. The same rules we have at home are the same exact rules we have when we dine out. I mean, you need to stay in your seat. You're going to eat this food. We're not going to misbehave. We're not going to cry. If that happens, one of us is walking them out the restaurant.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
Okay, how about taking it to the point where you're getting, you said, fine, but basically they're saying, hey, you're going to pay for whatever damage, which, quite frankly, I would be offering that as a parent. If my kid damaged the credit card machine.
It's sad that it's come to this, that the restaurant has had to take these matters into their own hands. That's the depressing fact.
Well, I think that's one issue, but there's some people who are like, I think this is overstepping, you're overreaching. But I'm like, what are we overstepping, overreaching on?
Yeah.
I mean, it's children's behavior. That's it.
And you're a private business.
Okay. The pushback that I can see that this is there is a lot of public complaint about kids, right? That kids are taking over, and oh my gosh, I can't believe there's kids at the brewery now, and I can't go anywhere that's child free. And there's a lot of rhetoric that we need more child free spaces, and how dare kids be out in public, which I think is a little bit overblown. Like, there's a woman, she talked to the CBS. I'll go and play this real quick and then just give you my reaction.
When someone actually stands up and says something like this, it's admirable. And we need more of him throughout the United States being that way. And he can actually cook good food.
So, like, we have is there some kind of epidemic I'm unaware of that's different than in the past? Because I go out to eat, like, I don't see a massive problem. There are parents who suck. That's always been a thing, and I don't understand why. I don't understand the broad concern.
Worse.
I think people's tolerance levels are different, and you can always tell when you're speaking to someone who has no experience with kids versus someone who is a parent, and it's just like, okay, where is your barometer of like, okay, it's getting too loud, it's getting too hot, tone it down, or opposed like, you know what, you just run wild because that's what you do, and you're a kid.
And throw your food around.
Well, and unfortunately, the other option is most parents go, oh, okay, you don't want my feral kid to be annoying, I'll give him the screen. And that is a wrong reaction, too. Yeah. The thing is, those are opportunities to have an expectation for your kid to learn how to be civil and learn how to be respectful. And it's more difficult for the parent. It kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but it's your responsibility.
I totally agree. And the other thing is, if the restaurant makes it very clear that this is their policy, if you don't like it, don't go to that restaurant.
Agreed.
As long as they're making it clear, and I like the idea. Like, just real quick, Greg, when you were making that speech to the kids, were you as their coach? Was that a coach? Were you a coach or were you a parent who?
Believe it or not, I was not the coach.
Okay, I was
a rando dad.
I was curious how the other parents reacted to that.
One parent came up to me and said, "Thanks for saying that."
Yes.
But then they didn't have my back when the kids went crazy again.
Greg's like, I had my reaction earlier, like, where's the epidemic? But then you brought up that anecdote. And I have had this experience with, like, the team pizza party, and I refuse to go to them in the future because the parents think that, they're playing with their friends. That's babysitting.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
it's like,
pay attention
this
to your
is still
kid.
a restaurant. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, coming up next is our scenarios segment, so stay with us.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
Did you hear that restaurant in the CID? Conditions are so bad, it is not feasible for them to stay open during the weekdays and only during the weekends.
Crime, street life, drug use. If only there were an elected official.
Like a mayor?
Maybe a council of these elected officials. And maybe these concerns could be brought to them.
This should scare them. I mean, like, I know we're being, like, tongue-in-cheek.
It should.
Jake and Spike, weekdays noon to 3 on KIRO Newsradio.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So, whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee...
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. 30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Greg Tomlin is in for Gee, and it is time for scenarios.
All right. Kind of a little spicy one. Summer vacation edition here going on. This is from Slate, one of their columns. My boyfriend's 30. I'm 29. We've been together 3 years. Every summer, his wealthy family spends a month together at their beach house, including his parents, brothers, and their partners. His parents cover groceries and meals, so it's essentially a free vacation, and it's generally a lovely time. My boyfriend loves the tradition. He looks forward to it all year. This will be my third time going, and we're meant to go in a month, but the problem is his mom. Uh-oh. She's overbearing normally and constantly butts into our business, even from afar. But the worst thing she does is demand that we keep our bedroom door open at all times. She'll barge in and open it if it's closed and remind us by saying something like, "Oops, you let this close." His family's very weirdly traditional in this way, which means for the entire month, if we want to have intimate time, we're relegated to sneaking around in the very late hours of the night to try to avoid being walked in on. Honestly, this would be fine, but it's a month. But I feel like the lack of respect from his mom is what feels off to me. How do I approach this with my boyfriend and his mother, or should I not go? Greg, you're our guest today.
This is an interesting one. It's not a married couple, right? It's boyfriend and girlfriend. So I wonder if they're running into a bit of traditional norms here.
Family values.
Yeah, sure.
There's a famous scene in Meet the Parents where Robert De Niro is confronting Ben Stiller because he's visiting and they're boyfriend and girlfriend, and he kind of has the same rule, like,
keep the door open like you're 16.
If I remember it correctly,
no closed doors.
I wanted to side with this couple originally, but I might be that very parent in this scenario if it was a boyfriend and girlfriend visiting.
They're in their 30s.
I go more the traditional norms route, though, and the traditional values, right? I kind of stick to the script when it comes to that. And at the same time, I will say, whenever you're vacationing on someone else's dime, it is a vacation, but at the same time, you're on their terms. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of families have dealt with this. I don't know if you guys have.
You're not determining the itinerary.
You're not determining the itinerary. And the correct posture, I hate to say it, is, okay, I'm playing by your rules here, and I need to be full of gratitude and appreciation, or just don't come. Or find a way to say, hey, we're going to do that every other year or every 3 years, but I can't do this every year. Mm-hmm. Ursula?
I actually agree with you. So if this were, let's just say, if I were still dating and my dad were still alive, he would not feel comfortable. It doesn't matter if I'm 25, 30. Yeah. He would not feel comfortable with us sleeping in the same bedroom with the door shut. I mean, and he's just old-fashioned that way. So if he's paying for my vacation, I'm going to go by his rules.
Right.
Now, is it reasonable for a month? You know that this stuff is going on. Mom's just trying to stick with the rules. The only thing I would potentially do is talk to my boyfriend and say, hey, is there something that we could do, because this is not sustainable. It's not something that I want to do for a month. Or maybe you cut your vacation short. Do it a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Someone in Federal Way says,
guys are crazy.
Do it with the door open and see what happens.
Yeah, Tamal in Federal Way says, have sex with the door open and look his mom in the eye when she walks in.
Oh, gosh.
I cannot believe you guys are okay with this. Like, even if you're not having sex, that is ridiculously invasive. Like, am I supposed to change my clothes in the bathroom every time because your, weirdly prudish mom
change them in the kitchen
wants to open our door all the time? Like, keep the doors open? You're adults. Like,
I get that. I get all that.
But it's their place.
Thing.
It's their place. It's their roof. It's their money. They feed you.
No, I'm talking to my mom. Like, the boyfriend better talk to mom. Like,
that's
I'm sorry.
Have boyfriend talk to mom.
Yeah, because mom is completely off base. Completely off base. That's so invasive.
I think it's unrealistic.
That's what
to
you
have
do
the
to a
door shut.
misbehaving teenager, not an adult.
I don't disagree. I will tell you that in my own house, my son.
Here we go.
Yeah, my son has been in a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They choose to stay at our house instead of his place because his girlfriend feels more comfortable in our place, and I don't.
You don't put the nanny cam in the bedroom?
I don't have a nanny cam. I let them shut the door.
Yeah, because you're insane.
Yeah, exactly. I already know. But again, if I have a rule, I have my rules, and so they follow my rules. They go with what I want. But if the mom says, I don't feel comfortable with this, I am very traditional, blah, 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 then you can choose. Tell your boyfriend, have him have the conversation. If I'm the girlfriend, I'm not confronting the mom.
If you're uncomfortable,
that's not gonna go well.
If you're uncomfortable with acknowledging the reality of what being in a relationship is, and you don't like that, then don't allow them to stay there. Don't do this.
Well, it's their definition of what being in a relationship is. There are some people with different values and different norms that say this would be inappropriate in my house.
Yes.
And I will probably be one of those people if my kids,
Lordy.
at 21 comes home from college and said, this is my boyfriend. And I would say, hey, you got to seal the deal. You got to put her, if you like it, you got to put a ring on it. And then you can close the door.
And you know what? That's your
like
belief.
a rubber?
Excuse me?
No, chef. I mean, not everyone
was
has
quoting
the same
Beyonce.
values
Who are
as
you
you, dude. But respect your. This is Kathleen from Fox Island. Respect your boyfriend's mom. Cut it short or don't go. Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
I just be a peacemaker. I think that's an underrated value in this day and age. It's like, how do you make peace with those around you? And again, if you were all paying for your rooms, if you were all meeting somewhere and you were there on your own dime, then you can call the shots. But this is sort of one of those unique situations where it's like, okay, yeah, we might be 30, but we're getting a lot of freebies here. And so I got to play by some alternate rules for a month that I might not agree with and keep it in my pants.
Tom says,
Greg.
Well, you said rubber.
Yeah. Sheesh. Okay. Tom says, don't let your parents pay and stay in a hotel. That's another.
Exactly. If you so choose.
You can still do the vacation with
pony
them.
up.
Exactly. But
you want to saddle up, you pony up.
Boyfriend puts his foot down now, like a.
Yeah. Okay.
Never mind.
I think we're going down a path I don't want to go down. Okay. We've got more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over... Hi, I'm Ursula Reutin from the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the Gee and Ursula YouTube channel.
Ichiro is back, and he's trading base hits for long balls. 50 season celebration weekend kicks off with the all-new Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. On Friday, August 7th, after the team takes on the Rays, see Ichiro step up to the plate against other former Mariner sluggers. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Canada says it's doing all it can to put out those fires.
We have over 100 aircraft in the air, combinations of helicopter water bombers and airplane water bombers as well.
Toronto Premier Doug Ford has nearly 900 fires sent smoke all across the continent. New Jersey handing out masks at rest areas on the Turnpike and Parkway as the smoke persists. FIFA now monitoring for any impact on Sunday's World Cup final in New Jersey. The CDC says bag lettuce in grocery stores is not part of the bad batch of iceberg making people sick. They suspect lettuce sold to Taco Bell in 5 states, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen just threatened to withhold federal money from states that don't investigate their voters for possible election fraud. He also threatened criminal penalties against election officials. Tsunami warning for Mexico and Guatemala from a quake and aftershocks this morning. This is ABC News. An accomplished actress, best known for her role in a Christmas classic, has died.
Brenda Fricker appeared in more than 90 films and television shows over a 60-year career that included an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in My Left Foot. She was the first Irish actress to win an Oscar, but she was probably best known in this country for her role as the Pigeon Lady.
It's Christmas Eve. Good deeds count for extra tonight. They do? Of course they do.
Her role alongside Macaulay Culkin in the Christmas classic Home Alone 2. Brenda Fricker was 81. Ireland's deputy prime minister said the country's lost a national treasure. Brian Clark, ABC News.
No women allowed. Japan's parliament revising its 19th century imperial house law by insisting only paternal lineage men can become emperor. Prime Minister Takaichi says the male bloodline is the only source of the emperor's authority and legitimacy. Emperor Naruhito's 24-year-old daughter is very popular. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Lightning sparked multiple wildfires across Washington, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. If you're heading north, expect about 25 minutes from Seattle to Linwood and 56 minutes from Everett into Seattle on I-5. That's where the biggest slowdown is this hour. Eastbound, it's about 20 minutes from Seattle to Redmond and 15 from Seattle to Bellevue if you're taking I-90. Southbound, you're looking at about 23 minutes from Seattle to Federal Way and 13 from Seattle to SeaTac. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Several new wildfires are burning across Washington after Thursday's thunderstorms brought widespread lightning to the state. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports hundreds of homes are in the path of one fire with level 3 evacuations in effect.
In the town of Nispelum in eastern Washington, residents are being ordered to leave now. In nearby Omak, lightning caused the Kaiser Canyon fire stretching 2,100 acres, roughly the size of 650 Costco stores. And just north of Snoqualmie Pass, the Three Queens fire. Reaction from the local fire chief there.
Those are things that make the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I hear fires this close to Snoqualmie Pass.
There were 8,000 lightning strikes across the state Thursday. The Department of Natural Resources issuing a burn ban Friday morning. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Small businesses in Seattle's Wallingford neighborhood say they're fighting to survive as burglars keep striking. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman has more.
From December to this past weekend,
they took a custom frame that a friend made for me for my birthday and the Magic the Gathering cards inside.
U Wine Bar in Seattle's Wallingford neighborhood has been broken into 7 times in 8 months.
All the profit that we had made in the first year was taken out in one night.
And owner Elijah Ostro says the price of these burglaries has cost him nearly $50,000 in repairs.
No word yet from Seattle police on these burglaries. Next week, the city of Tukwila could make camping in public spaces a crime.
During public comment before a city council committee this week, this woman took issue with the term camping being used.
People who are unhoused and are in a public space are not there because it is the best option or this is fun in any way. They're in these spaces because they have no other option.
Patrick Bernight with We Heart Seattle says at one point he was an addict living in a tent.
Being in a tent does not help anybody. A tent is a super temporary solution. That never really seems to work.
Violators would face fines of up to $1,000 or even jail time. The full Tukwila City Council is expected to vote on the ordinance on Monday. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Washington State could soon host a PGA Tour event as early as 2028. ESPN reports the tour is considering Seattle as one of several cities for its revamped championship series. The tour is splitting into 2 levels beginning in 2028 and plans to add events in new markets. The Seattle area has not hosted a regular PGA Tour since 2015. That was the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And now to your KIRO News Radio weather. We have some pockets of clouds over us right now in the Seattle area, but temperatures are going to be warmer this weekend. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. G is off today. Greg Tomlin is in. Greg, usually by the 3rd hour, we say, hey, we're coasting. We've made it to third base. There's a part of me that doesn't want the show to end because we're going to have a very special treat for our listeners today.
I can't wait.
Yes. And so I want to assure everybody, though. So if you missed our first hour, we had Greg, who is an incredible musician, plays guitar, sings. We had him sing during the 947 segment. And people loved it so much. I'm not even joking. Our the floodgates open on the text line. People saying, please, let's do more. So at 11:47, we're going to round up a few more very talented people, including our own Nick Krasia.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to share
some warm bodies from the newsroom.
Warm bodies from the newsroom. Spike's going to join us, and we're going to do bits of 3 songs. So
Ooh.
coming up at 11:47. I think you picked 3, right? So anyway, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. But right now,
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
okay, so Netflix has now joined a growing list of streaming services that are releasing documentaries about the horrific murders of 4 University of Idaho students. So it's going to be a 3-part series, The Idaho Murders, College Nightmare. It premieres on July 29th. Peacock and Amazon Prime Video have already released their own documentary projects about the same topic, the 2022 killings of Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. And Netflix says its series includes access to victims' family members, never-before-seen body cam footage, police interviews, and forensic evidence. And the director claims, that the goal is to keep the victims and their lives at the center of the story. And the reason I said claims is because I have this just uncomfortable feeling when you know that people are basically profiting off of others' misery. And so I'm curious about true crime and the obsession that is happening right now. Are you part of it?
Ooh, I go back and forth on this. So I wrestle with this issue a lot, in fact. And is what makes it okay just the passage of time? So, I mean, think about 1997. What's the biggest smash hit movie in the country? It might have been 1999. Titanic.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes,
Titanic tells the story of an unbelievable tragedy in American history where 1,200 people drowned, froze to death, and horrific.
Horrible.
The movie makes $1 billion. You know, makes Leonardo DiCaprio a massive star.
Yes, and it was seen as a romance.
One of the biggest box office getters in Hollywood still to this day is Leonardo DiCaprio, and that's a horrible tragedy. And it made tons of money, and it entertained millions of people.
Yeah, but that wasn't a crime.
It was
negligence. Exactly.
Sure.
Okay, but we're talking about
there's a
murder.
spectrum. There's a spectrum, right? And so I think all of us would do well to ask ourselves, what's the line we draw in terms of consuming either tragedy or someone's horrific circumstances for either our entertainment or for even just to be further informed. And of course, Netflix representatives are going to say, oh, we do this to honor the they're doing it to make money.
Of course.
Let's be quite honest here, because they know they'll get eyeballs. They'll know they'll get subscribers because it's a sensationalist terrible story that involves good-looking people and blood and murder and, a heightened sense of the human experience in all of its forms, for better or worse. And that's attractive for people to glue their eyeballs to, their eyes and ears.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate, and I get it at the same time.
Exactly.
And I've been guilty of it at the same time. I had a Dateline obsession once upon a time in my mid-20s.
Oh.
My wife and I would watch Dateline, and it's always some woman getting murdered, and they don't know who it is, and it's always the husband, right? and then we
Keith
reached
Morrison.
We
right?
reached
or, no.
Keith. I think that
it's
is Keith
him.
Morrison.
Yes.
And SNL satirized him perfectly, which is like Keith Morrison gets a little too happy when he's hearing these terrible stories of blood and murder. But my wife and I had a breaking point when one of the stories just was too sad. It was almost like, okay, that's it. And it involved kids getting killed by one of their parents. And we looked at each other at the end of the episode and we said, I think we're done. I think we're done with this whole thing. And we finally reached our breaking point, and then it made us question our previous obsession with it. Well, why is it okay if adults are getting heinously, brutally murdered? And that's fine, but if it's kids, then we draw the line.
And I don't think you think it's
soul
fine.
searching.
It's not like you think it's fine, but you found it interesting. You found it interesting to watch. For me, we talk about so much crime, and I have to read about so much crime and watch so much crime in real life in terms of covering the news, that the last thing I want to do with my very limited amount of fun time is to now watch more crime.
Is to see a really polished, well-produced version of crime.
and depressing.
Yes.
It's just depressing.
Yes.
But I'm curious, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. What is it about these true crime stories? I mean, it's podcasts, TV shows,
Yep.
tell-all books. You have something, Jeff.
The one thing that I think has been a positive, at least in my perspective, from true crime is it can often highlight really terrible police work. Because there are a lot of cases. I mean, Ted Bundy was allowed to. He was in police custody, right? You know, they interviewed him. It has shined a light on how the criminal justice system has failed so many people. On how stereotypes and quick assumptions have often led to wrong verdicts. But I think the obsession with this genre is deeply harmful, and I don't think it's very ethical. I mean, aside from the fact that you have these victims who become content, right? And this whole narrative of their death and their life is taken away from their family. It gives fame to the killers.
That's the part I hate too.
They become these icons. And people have this weirdly salivate over, all of these lurid details. And it is, I find it bizarre and disturbing. It's impossible to kind of tear yourself away from once you get your hooks. It gets its hooks in you, but it's really gross, I think.
Well, I think it's the other part is, do you get desensitized to all of this? I mean,
without
if that's
question.
if you're consuming it at such a level, it starts to become you forget that there are people. Imagine if any family member of yours was involved in something like that. That's a hard one.
Having to be hit with I can't turn on my TV because I'm getting or go online because I'm getting pop-up ads about my own sister's death.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
I want to recommend a movie to both of you. It's one of Martin Scorsese's recent movies called Killers of the Flower Moon, and it's about a tragedy involving the indigenous peoples in Oklahoma in 1920. But Martin Scorsese, in kind of a meta move, not Mark Zuckerberg meta, but it's self-referential move at the end of the film, addresses exactly what we're talking about and wrestling with making money off of telling the story of this horrible tragedy. But at the same time, you're also keeping the memory alive.
Yes.
By immortalizing it on film or on screen. And let's be honest with you, we are a culture that doesn't read anymore. We don't read, period. I mean, there's data about this, how many people have read a book in the last year, and it's strikingly low, a terribly low percentage. So we are getting our information, our facts, our history from the phone, from streaming services, and we're an extremely visual culture, which is a net negative. But can an argument be made that, you're keeping some of these stories alive by telling them in this flashy, well-produced, memorable way that's effective filmmaking? I think someone can make an argument for that.
Well, I'm curious also how the families feel about it. I mean, the murders of these 4 students, the amount of coverage that got.
Round-the-clock coverage around the country.
Exactly. And then it also generated all these online sleuths. When I would be scrolling on TikTok, the number
it's TikTok.
I know, right? The number of people who suddenly thought they were detectives and were coming up with their theories and the latest on, blah, blah, blah. And then, I mean, it made me feel so horrible for the families.
And it trivializes.
Well, it does.
The
And then
matter.
it's also dangerous, and it's also irresponsible and very reckless. And then it turns out, oh no, actually, it turns out to be this guy instead of all these other people that they had identified as potential suspects in this particular case. I mean, do you remember the number of people whose names were trotted out? And then it turns out, no, not any of them.
Yeah.
And Ursula, that's before the crime has been solved, right? In post-production, you're taking information that is publicly available, but not meant to be used in this way, in my opinion. Just because you can access the crime scene photos doesn't mean that that's something that needs to be put out there for public consumption. And the narratives that the true crime podcasts and the movies often shape are reality TV based. They're not reality based.
Yeah.
You know, they need to sell a narrative of drama. They need to play up the tensions, and they have to tell it like a story with this, you know, arc and crescendo
Teases and payoffs.
And that's not reality at all.
No. Well, it's soon becoming reality for most. It's the way a lot of people live online.
It becomes the reality of that story.
Right.
Cliff in Woodinville just texted in, said, a movie recommendation for those who want a murder mystery with great actors and a fun, light story. Wow. The Sheep Detectives on Amazon.
I enjoyed The Sheep Detectives.
My son loved it.
Yes. It's kind of a throwback movie, and yeah, it is a bit of a murder mystery, but it's handled in a very delicate way that even the youngest of kids can watch. I really love The Sheep Detective.
Well, good recommendation, Cliff. Okay, speaking of crime, let's talk about some good news about Seattle and King County. Doesn't happen nearly enough, but crime numbers are actually pointing in the right direction. So in case you haven't heard, Seattle actually went the entire month of June without a homicide, and shootings dropped nearly 25% compared with June of last year. And this is with what? How many? You know, we said millions of people who came through for the World Cup matches, right? But the good news extends across the first half of 2026, and this is according to Seattle police data. And I pause because even if I say it's Seattle police data, there are going to be people who say, well, people are just not reporting it. However, homicides are down 31% from 16 to 11. Shootings and reports of gunfire down nearly 22%. Property crime is also down, and overall crime is down nearly 2%. And King County, here's some good news. Car thefts have dropped dramatically. The sheriff's office responding to more than 2,800 stolen car reports in 2024. That number was cut nearly in half last year. So what do you make of all that? And can you ever convince people that it's safe?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's ebbs and flows here, but let's hope the momentum in this direction continues. I think it's unmistakable here. Hard to argue with the data, even if you think it might be a little off ultimately. I mean, numbers are numbers at the end of the day. The big question is, what do you attribute it to ultimately? I think a large part of it is what happened with the World Cup, as you alluded to here. I honestly think Bruce Harrell deserves a lot of credit for what he did as mayor. You know, downtown revitalization, what's happened near the waterfront here to make these spaces more, population friendly, family friendly, look safer, actually be safer. Sometimes reality does meet perception. I've been fascinated by talking to lots of people who live out of the state that think Seattle's an absolute hellhole and a nightmarish apocalyptic scenario here. And I've actually lately tried to reverse that narrative and be like, I really love my city. Like we've got our challenges just like any other.
Thank you.
But my goodness, I still love it here. I raised my family here. I love going downtown. When there's problems, I'm actually going to talk about them and call for them to be addressed by city leaders and so on and so forth.
12th and Jackson's still a problem.
And you know, when the whole Seattle is dying narrative first took shape, I thought it was appropriate. And I think sometimes it's great to have people say, hey, we're backsliding here, and that's all part of the process. And in some areas, there still is so much work that needs to be done, but let's celebrate the victories when they're apparent.
Agree. Now, I also understand that hearing these numbers, crime's going down, when you have a business. I was watching a news story this morning on KIRO 7, and it was a business that's been hit repeatedly, like within weeks. Yeah. And no matter what they try to do, the thieves keep coming back, breaking in and taking stuff. So that's little consolation to see, property crime is down 4.5%. If you're getting hit repeatedly, I get it.
Yes.
If you're the McDonald's at that 3rd and Pine location where you did get it more opened up during World Cup and now you can't because the crowds are back, we need to continue basically on the path of recruiting more police officers, which Seattle has been working to do. But we're not just looking at Seattle here. We're also talking about King County, doing more when it comes to accountability. I mean, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, not so often you hear about, hey, we've got this law in the books, whether I'm going to bring it up again, the soap law or the soda law. And it's like, but we're not going to actually enforce the laws that we have on the books.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Or empower our police officers
to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with all that, but like you said, I think so much of it is exaggerated. I mean, so much of it's dangerous down there. Yeah, I mean, there are some hot spots.
Ursula, I hate to say
Yeah,
it.
I know,
and again, we're not
it.
discounting that there are real problems and hotbeds of bad activity that go on, but it's not one or the other. It's not all or nothing, right?
Yes.
And I think so many people build careers or build an online media presence just talking about how awful and how apocalyptic it is. And I think if you're not simultaneously also pointing out some good news on occasion, I think you should have red flags going in your head as a consumer of news and commentary.
Yeah, you lose your credibility
instantly.
And I think one of the things that unfortunately is just it's public perception is that there's really not a ton that policymakers do one way or the other that influence crime trends. I could point to the pursuit law as being one that was very damaging, I think. A well-intended law, but damaging.
Yes.
But much like the economy, crime numbers tend to move because of things outside of policy, outside of policing, or who's in a particular office. The president of the United States.
Poverty is a big one.
Right.
Yes.
The president of the United States always gets blamed or the credit for the economy.
You're right.
And they're not in charge of those strings, generally speaking.
No. It's extremely multifaceted, but it doesn't fit in a nice box, a narrative that you want to promote. And there are countless factors at play. And one of them, I think, in this instance, was a big international event that came to our city.
Yes.
And so, let's fast forward 3 months from now and see if this is sustainable or if this is a blip.
But for all city leaders who are listening to the show, and we know you listen, we're rooting for you and build on this momentum. Okay, coming up next, we have Agree to Disagree. Stay with us.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Now we're less than 2 weeks away. 8 days until Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
The home of the Super Bowl champs, KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Look, I need to be real with you for a second. At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families cannot afford the food their kids need to heal. Think about that. A child recovering from surgery, learning to walk again, and the family is struggling to put food, nutritious food, on the table. That's why Safeway and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba are launching the Food First Project, a multi-year initiative to fight pediatric food insecurity right here in our community. This is not someday maybe talk. This is grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs going directly to families the moment the need is identified. No barriers, no red tape, just help right now. They're funding vitamin D screenings, nutrition support for student athletes, rehabilitation feeding tools, and meals for hundreds of families staying inpatient at the hospital. I love what Safeway and Seattle Children's are doing, making a real difference where it matters most. JSN showing up. Now it's our turn, 12s. Put food first. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Angel of the Winds Arena, Everett. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Los Angeles city officials are now working to try and drain more than 200,000 gallons of water from one of the city's neighborhoods after a water main break yesterday. ABC's Kena Whitworth has details.
Parts of West Hollywood underwater. The famed Sunset Boulevard transformed into a rushing waterway, a 36-inch pipe rupturing, unleashing a torrent of water. Streets turning into rivers, trapping cars. The force of the water creating a massive sinkhole. The city bus depot turning into a swamp, and hundreds of cars damaged or destroyed.
Several new wildfires are burning across Washington after Thursday's thunderstorms. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey reports hundreds of homes are in the path of a fire, with level 3 evacuations now in effect.
In the town of Nispelum in eastern Washington, residents are being ordered to leave now. In nearby Omak, lightning caused the Kaiser Canyon fire stretching 2,100 acres, roughly the size of 650 Costco stores. And just north of Snoqualmie Pass, the Three Queens fire. Reaction from the local fire chief there.
Those are things that make the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I hear fires this close to Snoqualmie Pass.
There were 8,000 lightning strikes across the state Thursday. The Department of Natural Resources issuing a burn ban Friday morning. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio. Radio.
Wildfire smoke has pushed air quality in Spokane into very unhealthy range. Health officials say everyone, not just sensitive groups, could experience health effects. They recommend staying indoors, keeping windows closed, and running air purifiers or air conditioning if possible. It's also a good idea to wear a well-fitting N95 mask if you must be outside. Homeowners of color are paying more for insurance than white homeowners.
According to the Seattle Times, one of the country's biggest gaps between white and Hispanic homeowners is here in Washington. People who own homes in predominantly Hispanic zip codes in our state pay 18% more for homeowners insurance. That's about $278 a year. It's the third biggest gap among 17 states analyzed by Consumer Federation of America researchers. They did not, however, analyze the gap between black and white homeowners in Washington because the state does not have enough predominantly black zip codes. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Washington election officials are responding to President Trump's latest comments about election security. The Secretary of State's office says Washington has a proven record of secure and accurate elections. The office also says Washington law protects voters' personal information and that every allegation of voter fraud is investigated under established state procedures. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic right now. If you're on 405, the drive from Alderwood to South Center is running about 46 minutes, while the same trip on I-5 will take you about 44 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood is a 15-minute drive, and Bellevue to Redmond is just 7 minutes. If you're headed south, Bellevue to Federal Way will take you around 31 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Now for your forecast. After yesterday's thunderstorms, today is much quieter. We've got some clouds, a few spotty sprinkles, then afternoon sunshine and highs in the mid-70s. This weekend looks fantastic. Plenty of sunshine is on the way with temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Right now, it's about 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out, Greg Tomlin is in, and it is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Ooh, a big new survey, 4,000 Americans found that 1 in 5 of us who are currently in a relationship would blow it up and walk away if the lottery prize was big enough. So Vice reports Florida was especially ruthless. 43% of Floridians said they might leave depending on their partner, with the majority saying they would do it for less than $10 million. Wisconsin, that was the most loyal state, 8 and 10 said they had no amount of money would make them leave. Greg, I'm not going to ask you whether you would leave your wife because I already know the answer to that. But I want to know if you think the numbers. 20% of people would walk away from a marriage if they received several $1 million, we'll call it.
Oh, and do you think that number sounds right?
Yes.
Like it rings true?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. And to some extent, marriage for millennia, to some degree, has been an economic proposition. Less so in the last 20 to 40 years, where we have much more equality of the sexes in our society and so forth. And so the number doesn't surprise me. What I think it reveals, though, is an ordering of loves or a disordering of loves and a hierarchy of priorities some people have. So if you're willing to leave your spouse, your significant other, for money, you're basically admitting, I love money more than I love this bond or this covenant relationship that I have. I personally think that's completely messed up. If you even have to think about this proposition and what your answer would be for more than 5 seconds, I think you should probably reassess your relationship right off the bat. And you should question, where do the loyalties of my heart lie? Is it in relationship or the bottom dollar? And furthermore, I've seen this so often, me being in my mid-40s now, time and time again, people, it's a cliche, but money truly does not buy happiness. I've seen many, many miserable people that have money flowing out of their pockets ad nauseum, and they sometimes lead very difficult lives with bad, broken relationships. That's not to say that's true of everybody, but what I know is there is nothing more priceless than being in healthy relationships, especially with your spouse, especially with your immediate family. You cannot put a price on that. And there's nothing better.
Amen. I agree. But I also recognize that marriage is not for everybody. I love what you said. Nearly half of the people in Florida were. It was like over 40%, right?
42%.
There was a price that they would leave, and then in Wisconsin it had the lowest. I mean, that's the Midwest values.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of plays into what you stereotypically think about those states, right? I mean, that's one thing that stood out to me. But to your point, Greg, it's what it says to me is too many people are still getting married for all the wrong reasons, and too many people have a conditional easy out. And money can buy love, or no,
happiness.
Money can buy happiness.
Can
apparently
it?
For some people, for a lot of people.
At least they think it can.
I'm with you on that whole thing, but it just goes to show there are a lot of people in miserable marriages and got married for the wrong reason. Now, before you even look it up, what do you think the divorce rate is today?
I think it's lower.
It is.
Than it has been traditionally.
42%, something like that.
Yes, because remember when we used to be able to say
50 or 70.
50% or half of all marriages end in divorce. That's not true.
Well, and by the way, even that statistic is misleading because the way they factor in those numbers is people, if you get divorced at least once, you're more likely to get repeat divorces, and they don't count those separately. So if one person gets divorced 4 times, they expand that over 4 different couples. So it looks like, oh my gosh,
half
you got 50% rate.
So the rate, though, has been steadily dropping for the last 40 years. And one of the reasons why is because people are waiting longer before they get married.
Well, and less people
and fewer
are getting
people
married.
are getting married.
Too.
Exactly.
I think this number is actually higher. I think it's higher than 20%.
That people aren't just admitting
They're
that
not admitting.
they would leave the marriage for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. Marriages run into tough spots, right? And I think that in every marriage, you would be dishonest if you didn't say at one point or another, "Gosh, am I really getting what I need and what I want out of this?" And you can still have a commitment there and have those questions. And that commitment is what often keeps couples together through those really hard times. But I think that there's a lot of couples who are just in a relationship because of convenience, because it's hard to get it. It's difficult to extricate yourself from somebody else's life.
You're so intertwined.
And the consequences of divorce are so staggering.
And long-lasting.
Right? If you removed the financial consequences of divorce and provided a benefit, I bet a lot more people would bail.
Well, what do you guys think? Oh, I was going to say
that's not being nihilistic about relationships, by the way.
Okay, Dan in Issaquah says, I recently inherited a lot of money. My wife and I have been together for over 7 years. Dan says it's just cheaper to keep her.
Cheaper to keep her? I like the rhyme. Cheaper to keep her.
You never heard that?
No, I'd never heard that.
Oh, dear.
Hang out with divorced dudes enough. You'll hear
probably
that.
Should have let that sink in for a second before I read it out loud.
You know what the positive thing is? If you don't identify with the people who would leave, then count yourself lucky because you truly have something priceless.
Yes.
And I think we can all count ourselves among them.
I'm not going to just nauseate people by mentioning again. I truly never thought of, like, if... First of all, of splitting and thinking that the grass is greener somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But I get it. I mean, marriage can be very tough. Absolutely. JD from Puyallup says, 66% of my marriages have ended in divorce. Beep, beep. Okay, coming up next, super special treat. So you're going to want to stick. It's going to be a musical segment. We're going to have some of KIRO's most talented musicians on the show coming up next.
Perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the Big Unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We've got Greg Tomlin in here. We've got Spike O'Neill, and who you're hearing right now is our very own Nick Krasia, who has stepped away from the board and is going to share some of his talent.
There's talk on the street, it sounds so familiar. Great expectations, everybody's watching you. The people you meet, they all seem to know you. Even your old friends treat you like you're something new. Johnny come lately, the new kid in town. Wish she still loved you when you're not around. There's so many things you should have told her, but night after night you're willing to hold her. Just hold her, tears on your shoulder. There's talk on the street, it's there.
John Carley's in studio.
Yeah, you can't
John
miss a
Curley
sing-along. He's from Philadelphia. He needs to sing along.
Doesn't really matter which side you're on.
No, it don't.
You're walking away and they're talking behind you. They will never forget you till somebody new comes along.
Woo! Nicely done. Woo! John.
Where have you been lately?
He's changing it up a little bit.
There's a new kid in town. Everybody loves him, don't they? And he's holding her, and you're still around. Oh my, there's a new kid in town.
Everybody now. You ready? Everybody.
Ooh, everybody's talking about the new kid in town.
There's a new kid in town.
Everybody's walking like the new kid in town.
Nice.
What about this new kid in town?
There's a new kid in town. I don't wanna hear it. There's a new kid in town. I don't wanna hear it. There's a new kid in town. I don't wanna hear it. There's a new kid in town.
There's a new kid in town.
There's a new kid in town.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Beautifully
Well
done,
done.
Nick. Nick Krasia, everybody.
It's face melting Friday.
I know. Okay, I'm just going to apologize on behalf of the rest of us because we were trying to find places to
jump in and
places to
harmonize.
jump in
I
and
shortened
harmonize.
it
I
up
was
a bit
that
just
was-
so it could get fit in.
That was kind of no.
The
that
word
was
you're looking
rough.
for is rehearsal.
Yes.
Rehearsal.
Who needs to rehearse?
Okay. You know what? We're throwing all scripts out the
All the
window.
rules out the window.
Yes,
Friday.
exactly.
It's quite the Friday. Way to start the weekend, guys. Yeah.
Funky Fresh Face Melting Friday.
So we've got Greg Tomlin now. And Greg, where are you going to be playing tonight?
Well, okay, I want a little newsy thing. Spike, were you taken aback by how many people are singing Country Road at all the World Cup events and stuff? And so
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, I was asking the question, what makes a sing-along song what it is, to where
Beer?
you just can't help? Okay, but yes, apart from libations.
No.
It's something about the melody and the evocative nature of the lyrics. Do you agree with that? Like,
What makes a sing along?
long
It's gotta be
sustaining notes?
It's gotta be part of the American lexicon. It's
Okay.
got to be a song that everybody knows from the 1,000 times,
A good
1,000
sing-along,
moments in their
yeah.
lives.
Okay, what about the British lexicon?
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better.
Take it, Nick.
Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Better, better, better. Make it better. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, Jude. Jude, 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 Jude. Na, 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 na. Take a sad song and make it better. Na, na, na. Hey, Jude. Hey, Jude. Woo! Yeah, 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 yeah. Na, 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 na. Hey, Jude. Woo!
Okay.
That's the one I had in mind.
I love that. Okay, so one of the things that I think
This is Curly's guitar, by the way. I've only dropped it twice today. Only twice.
He came in the
we're
clutch
gonna
today.
squeeze one more in. We're gonna squeeze one more in.
Squeeze one more in.
And John Curly, don't be shy because you're musical too. Okay, I know people are wondering, like, what happened to the Gee and Ursula show? We're fully embracing both joy and the fact that it's Friday.
And the fact that we had a little rain yesterday, but today it's 73 degrees.
Yes.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it's been all years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, I see the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say, it's alright.
Oh, you want to go bridge?
No, we're fine. No, I think that was an excellent off-ramp to this segment right there.
Okay. Greg, you are having a concert tonight. And
thanks for the shameless plug.
Remind everybody.
I know
where it's
Curly's going to be there, right? Yeah, Side Hustle Local in Bothell.
I'm roasting a pig.
Bring along your own pipes.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Okay. No, not that kind of pipes.
Cords.
Bagpipes.
Okay, bring back the guitar real quick because we've got 30 to 45 seconds left.
Oh, wow.
Give us a little preview of what you're going to be playing tonight.
Hold on.
A little preview?
Plugging a gig means plugging a gig. Where are you playing?
Side Hustle Local in Bothell, 6 to 9 p.m.
Come on.
Microbreweries,
Show
food,
up.
good times, and sing-alongs.
Perfect.
I got one. Here you go.
Okay.
You know what to do, Nick, okay?
You know the song?
Still wondering.
If you want to go and take a ride with me, with three-wheeling in the bowl with the dozies, oh, why do I live this? Hey, must be the money!
Bring John Curly in, come on.
Smoke a in the back of the Benzies, oh, why do I live this? Oh, hey, must be the money! In the club in the late night, feeling right, looking, trying to start something real nice. Looking for a little shorty I noticed so that I can take home. Must be the money!
Okay, y'all.
Big finish.
Oh, my God.
You didn't think I was going to go with Nelly.
No,
did
I
you?
sure didn't. But thank you, Greg. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Spike.
Oh, thanks for starting my weekend already. That was great.
You know what? That was a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed it. Apologies for the moments where, it might have been hurting your ears a little bit, but you all are great musicians. Thank you.
Sounded great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hope you all have a safe and peaceful weekend. Y'all are coming up next.
Jake and Spike Show coming up next.
Yes.
Don't miss
Stay
it.
with us.
Question of the day.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Don't miss the Mariners' 50-season celebration night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Witness the most iconic gathering of Mariners greats in franchise history as the top 50 players are unveiled at T-Mobile Park. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure